Reflecting on what Josh and Eric said, I'll end up mimicking a lot of that and hopefully amplifying it. But one of the questions that came to mind for me was, how much time of the CEO do you want this feature or OEM relationship to take up? And that helps me to gauge who the right stakeholder is. I mean, is this like for the Wells Fargo or the banking industry bill payment feature? That takes up no time of the CEO of the financial services company. It's just not that important. This is just an add-on table stakes, right? And that can be fine for that provider. It's a good business, and it's their sub industry. But Josh started mentioning go to market, and I think that's where these opportunities and where OEM is becoming more important is that if your OEM is bringing revenue to the table, that's a different discussion. If this is going to open up a new market, that's a different discussion. It's exciting if someone's going to provide a feature and says, "Oh, I also have a couple customers that are interested that we could bring into the fold for you," and then hopefully we'll get 10 or 20 more. How big is this market? So digitally, the reason software becomes so much more exciting is because of the speed at which we can rev and learn and fail and then keep feeling the market for what's out there. This gets into what Eric was saying with your stakeholders bringing the outside inside. I think Eric and I go back enough years where there's a lot of people, probably the customers too, and Josh included, that there's a bit of a change in business culture now where there was a much more strict relationship between your vendors and your customers. Things were much more defined, whereas I think it's emerging more, I like the word collaboration, right? And roadmap is a really key thing on your chart that you had shown. And my first thought is, oh no, I'm not going to tell people my roadmap. That's my strategic imperative. But the flip side of that becomes, well, if you're being told that, if you put this feature on the roadmap by the person who owns the customer relationship, that ends up becoming a really important input into your roadmap, and that's more of a collaborative relationship. I really like, Eric, how you said bringing the outside in, because I'm feeling the same thing, that it's moving slowly in enterprise software, but it is changing and evolving how we relate to vendors, and that changes the stakeholders and how you operate with them.